Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here on the channel. In this video we're going to be talking about the ones who live, and does Rick still love Michonne? Let's talk about it. So at the end of episode 3, Gone, that's what we're talking about. We're going to talk about the kind of speech that Rick gives Michonne, and does he in fact still love her? And if you're a fan of the show and you've been watching for a long time, then I'm sure you're like me, you already know that answer. I mean, you know Rick loves her. That's all he's thought about, was getting back to her and back to Judith. You know, he doesn't know about his son RJ, but if he knew about RJ, he'd be trying to get back to RJ. You know, he loves Michonne. I know he loves Michonne, and Michonne knows he loves Michonne. But I found an article on ScreenRant.com, and I want to go over that article with you because it kind of addresses this topic. So let's talk about this article, and I will leave this article linked in the description for you if you want to check it out yourself. Rick is under so much stress right now. You know, he has all the CRM crap. Michonne has shown up, and he loves her, and he's rekindled that love. You know, it's a love that he thought, it's a person he thought he was never going to see again. He had essentially given up and just given in and said, you know what, I've tried to escape, I've mutilated my body, and it hasn't worked. This is where I am. And don't forget, Michonne gave up too. She knew when to go back, and she only happened to find Rick because they were on their way back to Alexandria, her and Nat. But Rick sees threats from every direction right now. Jadis had made threats. Thorne has told him that General Bill is already looking at Michonne. With so many people in the CRM, why would General Bill be even looking at Michonne? Like, why would he even know about her? And when you think about it, Michonne hasn't really helped the situation out any. You know, he told her to be weak, and she's kind of shown out a few times. She was mad, she was upset, but she didn't listen, and Rick knows this place better than she does at this point. When they go on the mission to get rid of I'm not, maybe her accent, but I'm not exactly sure what Thorne calls the walkers. But when they go out to clear them, it almost kind of feels like it's her first real mission with this new command title. And Michonne disobeys an order and kind of goes rogue, and Rick jumps in and helps her, and they complete the mission. And Rick saw that Thorne was actually going to kill Michonne right there. And then Thorne tells Rick, get rid of Michonne. She doesn't want to see her anymore. And Rick knows that Thorne can kill her and get away with it, because all she'd have to do is say, hey, I figured out she was an A. And then there you go, Michonne's gone. So Rick sees threats everywhere, and he doesn't see an answer to what he can do. So he has to try to push Michonne away. Andrew Lincoln gave an interview with Entertainment Weekly, and he said, despite Rick's speech during The Ones Who Live episode 3, he's still in love with Michonne. The actor explained the combination of Jadis' threat and Pearl becoming less of an ally made Rick want to push her away, hoping that she would escape on her own. This is what he actually said. This is his quote. That's the ultimate question. The point is that he knows he's stymied because of Jadis. If Jadis hadn't been there in that scene at the end of episode 2, they're getting out of there. She's rekindled the love. But I do think that what's happened with Pearl in that episode, the real threat that she possesses and ultimately would have taken out the love of his life. I think it's a knee-jerk reaction. I think that he's in fear for her life and his family's life, and he loves her and he wants her to live. You know, from what we've seen in the trailer, it looks like this next episode is going to be kind of a slower paced episode with a lot more dialogue. So they're gonna actually be able to have some time to talk to each other, and you know, because Rick really needs to explain himself, because the last time he made Michonne mad, well, that didn't go too well, did it? She threw him out of a helicopter. At least they landed in some kind of body of water, and you know, in reality, they probably wouldn't be okay. But it's a show, so you know they're gonna be fine. And now I think they're gonna have so much time to explain things. I think Rick is gonna learn some things. I think he'll probably learn about RJ. You know, I made a video about this. He could learn about all the stuff that Daryl did. You know, he could learn about the Whispers somewhat, because Michonne knows some of that story. And I just think that they're gonna, when they come out of this episode, they're gonna be completely united, and it's not gonna be, what's Rick doing? What's Michonne gonna do? You know, Rick will be our old Rick, I think, at the end of this episode, and he will be ready to do what needs to be done to escape. Or, you know, at least he better, because I don't think Michonne Grimes is going to put up with much more of his crap. And I think Rick was still trying to work out a plan. When he got Michonne out. If Michonne had just listened to him, but Michonne can't because she loves him. I mean, and I understand that. And she wasn't able to fully see what Rick was doing. And Michonne does not leave people behind. She said that, and we know that. But I think Rick was trying to play the long game, maybe try to further get embedded in the CRM. Maybe find out about this 500-year plan. Maybe get the echelon briefing and find out exactly what these secrets are. That way he could use them to manipulate his way out of the CRM and escape. Maybe even take him down. Because I do think he fully believes in what Okafor said, and he might see that's his only real way to escape. Either he has to die to get out, and then there's nothing left, or he has to take down this beast. But I don't think that's going to happen now because Michonne pulled him out of a helicopter, and now they're going to think he tried to escape again because he has that past. I think now if he went back to the CRM, they would kill him. Because he doesn't have Okafor to speak up for him. And we saw in the last episode where General Bill said he wasn't sure about him. So Rick has no choice now but to try to follow Michonne and just escape. But, I do still kind of worry about the end of this episode because we're halfway through the season. And, if this is a one-time deal, like a one-time series, and it's not going to be a second season, there's not going to be a second season or a third season, they have to complete this story in some way. And it's seeming very unlikely that Rick and Michonne are going to take over the CRM or they're going to take on the CRM unless it goes the way I laid out in the video that I did, and I will link that in the description if you want to check it out. But it seems like with only 3 episodes left, if that's it, we might be headed for one of these major characters not making it through this series, and I hate to think that because I love them both. Anyway, guys, I don't want to get too much into that because I'm going to touch on that in another video after we see a little bit more of the series and see where it's going. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did and you haven't already, please give me a sub. And guys, I will see you in the next video.